Key 9.4. At the beginning of 2018, Manson Group acquired equipment costing £80,000. It was estimated that this equipment would have a useful life of 6 years and a residual value of $8,000 at that time. The straight-line method of depreciation was considered the most appropriate to use with this type of equipment. Depreciation is to be recorded at the end of each year. During 2020, the third year of the equipment's life, the company's engineers reconsidered their expectations and estimated that the equipment's useful life would probably be 7 years in total instead of 6 years. The estimated residual value was not changed at that time. However, during 2023, the estimated residual value was reduced to $4,400. Instructions indicate how much depreciation expense should be recorded each year for this equipment by completing the following table. Okay. I'm gonna make a new table over here because I would like to add a new column to the three columns that they presented, because depreciation expense and accumulated depreciation are very important, but you also need to know the ending book value. So I'm gonna add a column for that. Alright, so let's see. Here, at the beginning of 2018, acquired some equipment, and all of the methods, all of the years, they always use the same method, which is the straight line method. This will make things way easier for us. You see that the first change that they make, or the first recording of depreciation that they have, is from 2018 until, do you see, during 2020, which means that it's going to be 2018 for year, 2019 for year, but not 2020. So the first numbers that we have to consider, it's from 2018 to 2019, actually, right? Like December 31st of 2019, because 2020 is not going to be included. So this is until December 31st of 2019. It uses the straight line method, so the first 2 years, they are the easiest one. It's just the cost, which is 80,000, minus the residual value, no problem, divided by 6. That gives us 12,000 per year. And since it is straight line method, for both of these years, we're going to have the same value. It does not go up. Accumulated depreciation, the first year it is the same. And for the second year, we just have to add it, right? So it would be 24,000. Now, over here, here's where the catch of this exercise is. The ending book value. You know, when we use the straight line method formula, it looks like this, right? Cost minus residual or salvage value divided by the useful life in years. Well, in the first year, the cost is equal to the book value, right? Because no depreciation has happened. So, for example, if we had a column here, beginning book value, this book value would be 80,000. Because at the beginning of the year, no depreciation has happened. So this is why over here on the formula, it says cost, because in the beginning of the year, the cost is equal to the beginning book value. But this formula has to be adjusted to ending book value if you want to move on to following years. So this formula in the future, this part over here, we're going to be using the ending book value, because the current book value is not equal to the beginning book value anymore because some depreciation has happened. So for the first year, we're just going to have the ending book value is going to be the beginning book value, which we don't have, but in this case it is the cost, minus the depreciation expense of that year. So it will be 80,000 minus 12,000. That gives us 68,000. For the second year, this is going to be our beginning book value, right? So it has to be 68,000 minus the depreciation expense. And that gives us 56,000. This is one of the catches of this exercise. And this is the first 2 periods that we have to record. Next, they said that during 2020, they reconsidered their expectations and estimated that the useful life was 7 years. So they changed only the 7 years, but the residual value is the same. Okay, so we're going to consider from the beginning of 2020. So we count 2020, 2021, and it says that until 2023, right? So 2003 we don't count. So it's going to be 2020, 2021, and 2022. These are the periods that we're going to have to make these changes. So it is 2020 until 2022. Again, December 31st of 2022. Well, the cost did not change. The residual value did not change either. Actually, excuse me. You see, here's where the catch is. You cannot use the cost, right? You have to use the ending book value. So it has to be 56,000 because this is the current beginning book value of the year 2020. So it has to be 56,000, and the residual value did not change. But what did change was the years, the number of years left, right? So let's take a look. In the beginning, they said that it was 6 years, but 2 years have passed, right? So we have to decrease 2 years. And at that time, what did they say? They said that they want to increase it, right? They thought that originally it was 6 years, but now they think that it is 7 years. So from 6 to 7, they increase 1 year. So you have to add 1. That gives us 5 years left, which makes sense if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yes, 5 years. So here you have to divide by 5. That gives us 9,600. And since this is straight line method, all of the following years are going to be the same value, right? So I can go ahead and put 9,600 for all of these 3 years. Now accumulated depreciation is going to be this plus this, and I have to add an extra 0 here that I forgot. That gives us 33,600, and the ending book value is going to be the beginning book value, right, which is the same thing as the ending book value in this case, minus the depreciation expense. $46,400. Accumulated depreciation, this plus this. $43,200. Ending book value, this minus this. So the current beginning book value for the year 2021 minus the depreciation expense that happened in the year 2021. 36,800. This plus this. $52,800. This minus this. Okay, and we have finished until the year 2022. But after, they actually made one more change, right? So over here, let's see. During the year of 2023, the estimated residual value was reduced to 4,400. So the number of years did not change, but the residual value changed. So one more time, the formula that we're going to be using, and this is until 2024, right? It is the ending book value. In this case, we have 27,200. And then the residual value changed to 4,400. And here, what about the years left? Well, the easier way for you to know is to just look at the table. Here we have 2 years, right? But if you want to confirm whether this is correct or not, the original number was 6. And then 2 years have passed, minus 2. I'm going to be doing the same thing as here. And then over here, they increased 1 year because they said that now it should be used for 7 years. So +1. And then from the last time that we saw it until over here, we had 3 years, right? So we have to decrease 3. And that would give us 2. So this is why we're dividing it by 2. That is 11,400, which will be the depreciation expense for both of these years, because this was the last change that they made. So my accumulated depreciation plus the depreciation expense of 2023 equals 64,200. My ending book value is going to be my beginning book value of the year 2023 minus the depreciation expense of year 2023. This plus this. $75,600, and my last value. You remember that the residual value is 4,400, right? So if this number is 4,400, that means that we did it correct. So let's see. This minus this. 15,800 minus 11,400. That gives us indeed 4,400.